So, as I promised, this is our nighttime story for tonight. This is our what we call our Churchill room, but it actually should be called our Winston room. And for those who are on my personal Facebook page, I am not telling my story from my childhood. So for the Bulldog people, along with my personal people, this is just going to be my journey with my Bulldog. So I'm going to start at the start, which is with him. Winston came into my life. I was a single woman with a 5-year-old son going out on a blind date with who is now my husband for 20 years. And when I met him, I was 35 years old, completely looking for a man to love me and love my son and treasure us. And I met a man who was successful, had 2 children, and had no interest in marrying or dating a woman who had a child. But he fell in love with me, and deeply, deeply in love with me. And we were 4 years together dating, and I'll tell you another chapter what started to happen, but it came to a point where I wanted a child, and he said no. So I then opted for the second best, which was a dog. So we went, because my husband does nothing quickly, and everybody will know that. Nothing at all in life is quick with him. So he said, research dogs. But I decided to look at him. He was an Englishman. And he kind of looked like a bulldog and acts like one. He is rough on the edges, stubborn as an ox, gorgeous as hell, has these wrinkles that I can just kiss all over his face. And that's my husband. So I went to him and I said, I want an English bulldog, because you are one. So he allowed me to go to a friend who did have a bulldog, and they had imported their bulldog from Budapest, Hungary. And they got me in contact with the lady that imported their dog, and hence came our bulldog. There were 3 bulldogs that came. I chose another one, but Phil chose and said, when you go pick him up, we had just come back from Greece. I landed in LA and drove to the breeder's house who had imported the dogs. And Phil said, when you see the 3, if you still want to go with the first one you liked, take him. But this is the one I want. And when I went, this little bully came up to me, and we named him Winston. Winston has been by far the biggest love ever in my life. I love Churchill, I love Captain, but there's never been a love in my life like my Winston. He was everything, like a child. I raised him. He was the perfect dog in the world. Absolutely. When my father passed away, he was there for me. He was my rock. Everything that a perfect bulldog could be. He never ever had a health problem. He was tall. He was 17 inches tall. Taller than most bulldogs should be. But you know what? He was
the best thing that ever happened to me. And we had a great 11 years and 27 days together. So that is my first chapter with the bulldog. And when Winston passed away, what happened about two to 3 months prior, his stomach started getting big and swelling up. And I just thought it was old age. And we used to say, come on, you're walking like a snail. We took him to the beach. I said, come on, Bubba, come back. Don't walk like a snail. And he always came loyally to us. Phil has never opened this box. I have. I'm going to put the phone down. Hold on. I'm sorry. It won't open, so I can't. So that is how I became to love bulldogs. The child that my husband at the time did not want to have. But we got you. But you opened up our world to the love of bulldogs. You'll always be in my heart. Good night.